Hi friends, so let's talk today about the money skills. What are the 2 money skills that are going to put the most money in your pocket? Right? What are the 2 things you need to focus on? All of your education needs to be about these 2 skills, okay? And some of you guys are going to be really excited because it's actually not technology. Technology is not one of them. There might be a sigh of relief. I want you to know you can build a whole sales funnel, do everything I'm talking about with extremely limited technology skill, which is awesome. So if you struggle in that area, don't worry about it. Just real quick story, just to open this up anyways. Back in my early 20s, I know I look really young, but it was a while ago actually. In my early 20s, we were playing some sports with some friends, and we did this every week, same day, same time basically. And we got all together, and there was like 35 of us. I mean, there's a lot of people. And we got together and we would start playing. Well, I remember this one time, everyone got together and I was excited to play that day. So I was getting everyone together. I was like, come on, let's get started. And nobody was coming together. And I was like, what is going on, And I remember there's this really big kid. He was tall, and he was one of those people, people naturally hung around him just because he was a big dude and the way he held himself. And so I walked over to him and I was like, dude, let's get started, man. Like, what are we waiting for? And I remember this is all he did. He looked up, and he goes, everybody, hey, let's get going, and it was so noisy before, but it was like he split the Red Sea. Everybody stopped and looked right at him, and he said, yeah, that's cool. And I was like, how on earth did he do that? And it was just this natural skill. And so here's the first lesson for today. I don't have to know how to do everything, only how to organize it, all right? I don't need to know how to do everything, just how to orchestrate it, just how to organize and put it together, right? And as an entrepreneur, that's all you're doing. So if technology is a huge thing to you, you don't even need to know how to do it all, right? I'm going to show you how to do just the shortcut ways. All right, there are 2 things you need to know that will make you the most money. Number 1 is traffic. Number 2 is conversions, all right? And think about how that's true for you, all right? Traffic and conversions is really where it matters. And what's funny is when it comes to traffic, guys, traffic is actually really easy. Once you know how to do it, once I've shown you how to do it, especially if you get the secret MLM traffic on command course, which you should have by now. There's a link below if you haven't. You're going to get crazy traffic, right? If you don't know how to get it, or you haven't gotten the traffic below, you're going to learn how to get more traffic than you've ever thought of you could get, more than you know what to do with, all right? There's a case study that I include in that course. We sent out an email to 117 million people in like 2 days. It was crazy. And 53,488 visitors came over the next 2 days. And we got like 100 opt-ins, pre-opt-ins. I'm sorry, they were pre-purchases actually. They weren't just opt-ins to what we were doing. And it was crazy. It was insane. You'll watch me set that kind of stuff up in that traffic course, all right? That was extremely successful. All right, once you know how to do all this stuff, you get all these effective strategies down and stuff. Guys, the world is yours, all right? So anyways, if you haven't enrolled in that, the link is below. But back to the lesson. And this is a really key point I wanted to make. There is rarely, once you have traffic, there is rarely a traffic problem. If you're not making money online, it's usually not a traffic problem. It's usually a conversion problem, right? So out of the 2 money skills, it's usually conversions that is the issue. And what I mean by conversions is someone who goes to your squeeze page or a landing page and you get them to click over and go to the next page or start buying, right? You're converting them to you, right? So that's conversions. And what is conversions? A conversion is a sale. What is a sale? Sale is persuasion. Sales is persuasion, right? Does that make sense? That's all sales really is. People often tell me like, hey Steve, look, I'm not a salesman. And you're totally wrong, right? If you have kids, you are definitely a salesman. If you're in a relationship, right, you close the deal when you actually started that relationship. If you're trying to get somebody to go to a movie that you like or go to a certain restaurant and you're saying, hey, let's go here, let's do this, that's persuasion. That's sales. People make sales, they think it's this flashy stuff, and there's certainly a flashy side to it, but that's not really what sales is, especially personable sales. So anyways, so here's the lesson. Sales is merely a transfer of belief from one person to another. And so when it comes to your MLM, you need to ask yourself, do I really believe in my product? Is there belief, right? If you really truly don't believe in your product, it's very hard to persuade somebody to use it, or your opportunity, right? If you don't have, take a hard good look at yourself and say, do I really believe in my product? Because when you're passionate about something, it's really easy to transfer belief. It's really easy to transfer emotion to someone when you have passion. And so if you don't believe in your product, it doesn't matter. I'll show you what to do. There's a way you can get persuasive. There's a way you can get belief in your product, and I'll show you how to do that as well. But you really can't sell unless you're passionate. And that doesn't mean you're really, it doesn't mean you're crying or anything, but you need to have some fire in the gut for sure. You need to get out there and really show people what it's about. So again, ask yourself one more question. Here's the big test. Would you tell people about your product even if you weren't being paid to do so? All right, that's the real test. If not, I suggest, here's the answer. Because if not, I suggest you start using the product that you're selling. So if you start using the product that you're selling, oftentimes you create the passion that is needed to actually start believing in the product, right? And you actually go out and sell it. That always gets people more excited about it. Does that make sense? Because you create your own testimonial, you create your own success story. You are the success story because you're the one using it. So anyways, I hope that makes sense. Now, real quick, before we keep going, let's figure out who you should be talking to, right? This is really exciting. This is the group of people that you should try to attract to your MLM. And who's the most likely group to actually come and join your company. All right, this is really powerful. Pay attention, take notes, all right? And especially how to get them to you. I'm sure you remember I just said traffic is easy and it's actually conversions that's the hard part, right? That's the real trick. Well, conversions are hard because of one of two things. You're either not converting because your message is wrong, or number two, your message isn't getting in front of the correct people, right? Does that make sense? It's usually one of those two things. Bad message, and we call that message to market match, or it's not going in front of the right people, right? Message to market match, meaning write the correct message and make sure it's getting in front of the correct people. Would you talk to a business owner differently than you would an elementary school teacher? Of course you would, right? Would you talk to someone who's a triathlete different than the person who's trying to just lose weight? You would have to, right? You need to do that. You have to speak differently to them. And so people, here's the key, right? Here's the lesson. People have preset internal gears as to what they want in life, right? So here's really the lesson, here's the key. You can't sell something to someone who doesn't already have a pre-existing desire to consume what you're selling. All right, said in another way, basically, you can't sell something to somebody who has never wanted that in the first place. I'm never going to go out and buy a pink Volkswagen Bug. I don't have a pre-existing desire to purchase that, right? Let's think about cold market real quick, right? People who you don't know, right? I love cold market. It's so good. Ask yourself, who already in the whole cold market area, which is the world, who in the world already has a pre-existing desire for what it is that I'm selling? If you can answer that question, it's amazing. What group of people already kind of has a predisposition to purchase what it is that I'm going for? So it's as simple as this. Go put your product in front of those people who would already want what you're selling, right? This way you're not selling. They already want what you have. Does that make sense? It's really cool when you think of it that way. So you go put your product in front of people who already kind of want what you're selling, and then it's not selling at that point. They already want it. And it makes it really, really simple, okay? People want to shrug off the whole target market thing, it's like whatever, target market, but don't. It's the easiest thing It's the easiest thing to sell. It's the easiest thing in the world. If you can nail the target market and you get that message to market match going, it takes away a lot of the pain. You don't have to do all these hard closes and stuff because they already want it. So anyways, here's some guidelines. Now, number one, you've got to narrow it down. Narrow down who it is that you're targeting. Pull down on their age, pull down on their, pull down on the gender, Targeting everybody is actually targeting nobody, right? If you get out there and you say everybody wants what I have, then really you're not going after anybody. Recently, there's a company I was kind of consulting for, and they sell a certain type of water, and it's really cool. But anyways, they have a referral program. You know, it's not an MLM or anything. And I was like, so who's it you guys usually target? And one of the junior people in there goes, well, everyone needs water and everyone wants to make some extra money. So literally the world is our market. And I was just like, oh my gosh, you guys have no idea what you're doing. I was like, that is not at all, that's false. That's absolutely incorrect. So anyways, you need to get close on who you're targeting. Make sure it's really, really narrowed down, right? Here's another part to this. Ask yourself, who would feel like I'm talking directly to them? Okay? Nobody falls in love with a corporation. They fall in love with an individual. All right? No one wants to be sold as if they're sitting in a class. They want to be sold as an individual, right? No one likes to be sold in general, but they'd rather purchase than be sold. Different way to think about it, I guess. But anyways, who is it that I can talk to, or what group of people can I talk to where they're going to feel like I am going straight for them, right? This is why I believe everybody should have their own sales funnels. They should have their own marketing material, their own capture pages, their own baits and magnets to talk to people, right? You got to make your message personal, right? You wouldn't want to be sold as a class, all right? You want to be sold as a person, right? One of the issues your company, how should I say this? I don't want to offend anybody, but one of the issues MLMs have is that every distributor out there is using the exact same marketing material as you, right? They have the same product, the same marketing material, and the marketing material that your MLM has created is so broad, it's so big, it's meant to appeal to every person in the world that it ends up not being that, you know, it's not very genuine. There's no motivation for your prospects to join, right? So you got to ask, why would somebody join you? All of you have the exact same canned, pre-packaged material, right? You're not selling it any different than anybody else. So it's like I said, why would someone join you? There's no purpose for them to join you. You're not speaking separately to each group of people. You're trying to speak to the world. And so by appealing to everybody, you in your MLM right now are appealing to nobody. And it's kind of a hard, cold fact right there, but it's true, all right? But like I said, they create marketing that's huge. And it's way too broad. So let's take the health industry, for example, right? Or beauty industry. Would you talk to someone differently about a beauty product versus the beauty industry opportunity that you're selling? Of course you would. You know, you don't sell the product the same way you sell the opportunity. You do it differently. People go wrong by not getting specific. Like, well, I don't want to miss out on all these people, and you know, and that's exactly what you shouldn't do. You need to get specific. You talk to men versus women differently. You talk to athletes versus those who are trying to lose weight differently, right? But people don't do that. They take the marketing material and they just hash out the same thing over and over again. All right. So here's the lesson. You need to have one message per funnel. Right? Focus on the health nuts, or focus on the vegans, or focus on lifters, focus on triathletes. I mean, you know, that's the health industry, for example. But whatever industry you're in, you've got to get focused down. Otherwise, you're talking to literally nobody, and you're gonna fail, right? It's good stuff, right? Anyway, I hope you're liking this. Can you see this helping you? Anyways, I hope you can. There's real beauty in this because you actually get to design who it is you want to work with. When you target people down, what you're really doing, you know, when you're really finding your target audience, what you're really doing is you're defining who it is you want to work with, right? Because if I go put out a certain kind of bait, I'm going to get a certain kind of fish, right? If I'm going to go catch trout, I'm going to use a certain kind of fish or a certain kind of bait. So I'm going to go talk to those people, you know, get that fish or whatever it is a certain way, right? So use the opportunity to figure out who it is I want to talk with. A good test is to ask yourself, would I ever want to go on vacation with this person? If, you know, a lot of people will put out, you know, cruises as prizes and things like that. And if the answer is no, that's okay. Disqualify them. They don't have to join your team. Would I ever want to hang out with this person long-term on a boat, totally secluded, you know? And if the answer is no, then it's okay. But keep going until you get targeted down and you go, you know what? I would hang out with that guy. and then target that kind of guy or girl. Anyways, so let's hit the big question right now. Who is already the most correct audience for you to go after in an MLM and try and get them in your network marketing business or whatever? Who already is out there right now? And here's what I found. The people who are most likely to join a home-based business or MLM or network marketing business are people who are already in one, or who already are running a business, or who already are entrepreneurs. They're already in the mindset, okay? This is so key, you guys. Write this down, please. Why? And it's because, like I said, they're already in the mindset. They've already qualified themselves as somebody who likes multiple streams of income. They're already qualifying themselves as somebody who wants more time and freedom and money. All the stuff that you're trying to go sell as an opportunity, right? They want to take calculated risks. They enjoy the challenge. They like to try and get things done. They already have expertise and experience in the business realm, right? They're such a good person to go target. So they can hit the ground running, right? They don't need as much hand holding. Like I told you, they're not leeches like I recruited my first month, all right? And it's not to be mean to people or whatever, but right, some people are just geared more towards being more successful because of the way they've chosen to live, right? They're already more, they're not so risk adverse, right? And I'm sure you've already seen that in your own experience, right? There's people like that. So maybe decide, you want to go work with real estate agents, or maybe you want to go work with insurance agents, or you want to go work with small business owners, or whatever it is. Decide though, just choose someone, in my opinion, choose people who are more businessy, right? Me, I like to work with other network marketers. And why? Because they're already in one. They're not going to ask dumb questions like, is this a pyramid thingy, right? They've already purchased an opportunity. They're more likely to purchase another one, right? Anyways, the very next point is super important though, all right? Let's talk about who you don't want to recruit, all right? This is who you don't want to recruit. Lazy people, all right? People with a lot of time. People who've been doing the same thing they were last week, last month, last year, okay? The people who look like they're not really doing a whole lot with life. Would you agree with that? And it's not to be mean or anything, but man, busy people are the best to go for. And you'd think, why? Why is that? Well, it's because they take the world by storm. These people are busy, they're industrious, they choose to take action as part of their life. Those are definitely the people to go for. Businessy people, people who already seem busy. Right? So here's the lesson. Stop targeting people who need your opportunity and start targeting people who want your opportunity. Right? You can't look down the street and go, wow, Mrs. White, she really needs this opportunity in her life right now. Let me go talk to her. And you know what? You might be right. She might actually really need it. But does she want it? If she's getting in because of you and not because she really could be successful in it, then you've actually done more harm than good. Right? So anyways, you want people who are already in business, and I think I've beat that to a dead horse, but holy smokes, get people that are at least fascinated with the sales process already, right? People who like sales, or something in that realm. Go get go-getters, all right? And I found that people who are typically like that already own some form of business. So here's the next question then. How do you attract those kinds of people? How do you get someone like that to buy your opportunity? Anyways, I'd like to share that with you. I want you to know how to do that, how to pull in that kind of person, perfect prospect, right? I'm excited to show that to you. I'm excited for the next video. That's actually when I'm gonna have to show that to you. This one's getting too long. I've hit my 20 minutes already. All right, so I'm super excited. But after today's, hopefully starting to get a picture of who it is that you want to work with, who it is in your mind. You're like, holy cow, this is the kind of person that I want in my downline. So that after I recruit, 50 or 100 or 150, it'll keep growing itself because I know that they're not leeches, right? So anyways, hope you're getting a good picture in your mind, right? Then tomorrow I'm going to show you how to attract your audience, like I was just saying, and then create a magnet that it's so irresistible. Basically, your visitors can't help but give you their contact info, right? It's really cool. There's a certain way to do that, and it's solving a real problem, which is really fun. It's not any weird, tricky thing or whatever. So on top of that, I'm going to show you the biggest question that your prospects have. And if you don't answer it, they're not going to join. You can do everything else right, but if you don't answer this one question that every one of them has in their head before they purchase, then they're not going to join you, right? So anyways, do you think it would help? I hope you think it would help. Tomorrow's going to be very, very powerful. You don't want to miss it. So here's the recap. Today we talked about 2 money skills being traffic and conversions. You don't have to know how to do everything, only know how to organize it. Sales is merely the transfer of belief from one person to another. You are all salesmen, all right? You can't sell something to someone who doesn't already have a pre-existing desire to consume what you are selling, all right? You got to have the message to market match. Stop targeting people who need your opportunity and start targeting those who want it, all right? And if you haven't gotten it yet, if you're not getting the kind of traffic you want or no traffic at all, or you're worried about, quote unquote, pitching all the people that you need to, get the traffic course, all right? It's Traffic on Command. I give out my absolute best stuff in that course, and I've still been nervous to do that, okay? It's in my bread and butter. But anyways, good stuff. My life literally has changed after I learned those strategies. Anyways, thanks for watching. If you got value at all, please let me know. Leave a comment below. It really helps me. It's more motivation for me than anything. It gets me excited. So anyways, check out the link below for the Traffic on Command course, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye.